guys, today I'm gonna be talking about the Walking Dead mid-season finale for season 5. And if you have not seen the episode, go watch it because this is gonna be a spoil-filled discussion slash review of the episode. So if you have not seen it, go back and watch it. So the episode starts off with one of the police officers escaping, as if you saw the last episode, and then Rick is going after him. You don't know it at first, but then you see Rick getting into the cop car and chasing after him, and then he tells him to stop a couple times, and then he basically accelerates the car, hits him, and then he goes basically flying off, hits the ground with a possible broken spine, and then he said, telling Rick, "This ain't gonna work," and basically trying to talk Rick to bring him to the hospital. Basically, Rick just shoots him and gets back to the group. Once he gets back, the other two cops tell him, "Okay, let's agree what we saw. We saw him get eaten by walkers because they know if they tell Don that he was killed by Rick or one of the others, the deal won't work, and they're trying to stay alive. So they'll basically say that he was killed by walkers, so the deal will work." While back at the hospital, Beth is trying to kind of coincide with her new life, and she's trying to see who Dawn is as a person. Then you see conflict with Dawn, and then another police officer, and Beth, and basically this entire scene where Beth and Dawn work together to basically throw this guy off the elevator. That wasn't the full purpose to throw him off the elevator. It's just that Dawn knows what Beth did on the episode where she tries to escape with Noah on the first time. She knows what she did to kill that police officer, and basically the other cop comes in and hears everything, and then Dawn tries to keep him quiet, and then basically there's a huge fight. In the end, he gets thrown off the elevator. Then back at the church, the pastor then goes to the school where the cannibals were a couple episodes back. He sees Bob's leg. He grabs a Bible with some writing on it, and he's basically kind of have like a mental breakdown. He throws Bob's leg, and then at that point, the walkers from the school get out, and they attack. They go after the pastor, and then he tries to go back to the church. He tries to get in, and it was locked. And then Michonne basically has an axe and tries to break the door to get him in, and then a bunch of walkers come in. Carl takes two of them out, and then Michonne takes a couple of them out, but they have to go back to the office and go through the hole he made to get out in the first place. Basically, they lock all the walkers inside the church, but by that time, they try to get out because once they have them in, they try to get out, but Abraham, Glenn, Maggie, Rosita, and Eugene get back with the fire truck and basically block that portion off so the walkers wouldn't get out. And then they tell Maggie they found Beth in Atlanta, so they all go together to find Beth. Back in Atlanta, Rick meets up with two other police officers to basically kind of surrender and also meet in their terms. They go to the hospital to meet up with Dawn, and then you see basically kind of a standoff. Police officers on one side, Rick and his group on the other, and they switch people one by one. They first switch one of the police officers for Carol, and then the other for Beth. But at that point, Dawn tells them that she wants Noah back because since she's losing Beth and she was like kind of like a head nurse, then she wants Noah back to take her position. And Noah is willing to do it to get Beth out. But then Rick doesn't want to do it because that wasn't part of the deal. And then there's conflict between them. And then Beth finally kind of sees what kind of person she is. And then she stabs Dawn, and then Dawn shoots Beth, and she dies. And then Daryl shoots Dawn. And basically the other police officers were like, okay, let's leave it at that. They even offered them to kind of like bring him in, and Rick was just like, no, we're not doing this. And then once they get out of the hospital, Daryl's carrying Beth, and then Maggie's screaming. She is going with a breakdown, and that's how the episode ends. I thought this was a really well mid-season finale episode. I think all of the actors did a really good job. The direction did they take, I thought it was really good. Beth death, I I'm conflicted with that because I didn't want her to die. I actually wanted her to continue on with the season because I really liked her character. She basically became a really strong character, and it was sad to see her die. Like another character die first. It was Maggie and Beth's father. Then it was Bob, and now Beth. Like, how many of these characters are dying? They're almost like the Game of Thrones characters. You don't know which one is gonna die next. But I really thought this episode was really good, and some things that you might see in the upcoming rest of the season is more about the pastor's back life because you already know that he let those people stay out of the church, so you already know what he's done. But you may get to figure out why he went to the school in the first place because he was telling Michonne why, but he never really fully explained. So those details may come through the episode, and also where the group might go next. Because I know in the comics, if you've read the comics, that Rick goes to a new town and he basically becomes a sheriff again. And this is may where they go with the rest of the season because they already have season 6 planned, and it depends how the season goes and where it ends. But really, it can go in many different directions. Since Washington and Eugene is basically a bus, they can go anywhere. They can go to Canada. They can go to Florida, for example. They can go really anywhere because they really don't have a set point now. Since Washington is a fake and Terminus was a fake, they really have no destination right now. The possibility that they can go to that town in the comics where Rick becomes a sheriff again could be a possibility. But at this point, anything goes, and I'm really excited. I can't wait to February to come so I can see where the group goes now and how they deal with the death of Beth, and also how Maggie will deal with it because she's now lost her father and now lost her sister. This is gonna be a very interesting character development for her in the rest of the season, and now Glenn has to support her through this time. And I can't wait for the rest of the season to come out. And have you seen the what did you think of it? What would you have thought differently from the episode, or what you would wish would have happened? Comment below. And are you excited to see the rest of the season? Or what has been your favorite season of The Walking Dead? Also comment below. And remember to follow us on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe.